All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
Welcome to the 83rd episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Andre Reed episode. Dave's mad. He thought I was going to say Heath Miller.
It is the Heath Miller episode.
It's not the Heath Miller episode. I've given you so many Steelers. Listen, Andre Reed, I got a good reason. One of the most underrated and prolific receivers in NFL history. I feel like we are very prolific and underrated, and one day we will get our chance to shine.
We will.
Heath Miller, it could be our Heath Miller episode as well. He's very hardworking. I don't know. I don't have any positives to say about Heath Miller.
Future Hall of Famer, and we are headed to our jerseys being retired as well. So, shout out to
Andre Reed was a better receiver, and he's also a future Hall of Famer. He went to 4 straight Super Bowls. He didn't win none of them, but he was there. and he had hair like the S-curl box. So
Word.
You don't get much of that in the NFL.
I got you. He's got 2 chips, though. I don't know if saying, chips. Chips.
Yeah, but there's so many. Don't do that. So many others on that team have 2 chips as well. So, shout out to Heath Miller, because this is a Pittsburgh-based podcast. I ain't gonna disrespect, but Andre Reed, shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to Andre Reed, man. You did your thing.
You don't know who the fuck Andre Reed is.
I don't. Shout out to him for doing his thing.
I'm half of the hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined, as always, with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you peoples? We are Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. You can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod, and you can find us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at PartnersPod. Look, man, 83 episodes. You know what I mean? Rate and review. Hit up iTunes, rate and review. We've asked you at least 83 times. We won't ask you every episode.
Yeah, it's pretty much part of the.
It is.
It's what we do here. Like, we gotta ask. Just oblige.
Just do it. By the time, if you do it, we ain't gonna ask anymore.
Day and I just had a really in-depth discussion about how we rate and review apps and things. Now, Day does, I don't. So I'm not gonna lie. So if for nothing else, rate and review the podcast for Day, because he'll reciprocate.
Truth.
I will just patronize whatever thing you have going on, and I won't tell anyone about it.
So please, rate and review. That's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well, and that's how we continue to do well. So please, rate and review.
I always said, you love us, you tell us you love us, just let the world know.
There it is, man. So what are we drinking on, man?
We have, is it a variety pack from Church Brew Works?
Is it about a variety pack? Yeah, we got a couple.
We got blessed with a case from Church Brew Works, a popular establishment on, what is that, Liberty? Is that Liberty Avenue?
I believe that's Liberty, yeah.
Yeah, in Bloomfield. I have the German-style Pilsner, which I'm not even going to lie. Once you start drinking real craft, and you start going, it's hard to go back to Pilsner, man.
Yeah, man.
I took a sip, and I was like, this shit remind me of some Anheuser-Busch type. Which is not to say it's good or bad. It's just to say that it is a Pilsner.
Yeah,
and Pilsners don't come highly recommended by Ed Bailey.
Nah.
And I can't give you a lot of beer advice, but I can advise you that if you want to impress someone, it's not going to be with a Pilsner.
Hey, you know what, man? If Ed Bailey says it's not impressive, not to say that this particular one isn't an impressive Pilsner. It's just Pilsners.
I just don't like Pilsners.
Yeah, exactly.
They have a very commercial type of taste, and I get it. You got Church Brew Works, you got families going there. They're probably doing tailgates, cookouts type things. You don't want to offend people with a lot of flavor. I think it's a very good introduction to a craft beer.
Yeah.
But
it's Pilsner done well.
Once you've done 83 episodes, you know, Pilsner in episode 12, cool. But Pilsner in episode 83, nah. So I'm looking forward to getting into. We got you have the ale.
I got the pipe organ pale ale, which it's not bad. You know, again, it's along that vein of it's not crazy hopped. You know, it's not like going to punch you in the face. You know, you can drink it. You know, nice little tailgating beer. You know what I mean?
I think that's what you're going to get when you're not drinking like a. And that's where craft might go, and I'm scared of that. Like when you start getting away from these homegrown type of, you know, very intimate, in the family, you know, a bunch of friends doing it, those type of things where it's not a mass production, you know, these microbreweries where it's all about flavor. And you get to a larger brewery or a brewery that has to, I guess, appease the masses, you're gonna, it's kind of like with hip hop, man.
Yeah, you gotta.
It's like it's a top 40 beer.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make it. It's not a bad.
Yeah,
it's not a bad song.
Yeah, you can get repeats.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, you can get some spins out of it.
Listen, you definitely go get some twerk to this pale ale. All right? You probably go take more chicks home to this pale ale.
Exactly.
But it ain't the mixtape before the album.
Nah. It ain't the 99 to the 2000. You know what I mean?
It ain't Jeezy Trap or Die.
It's 96.1.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right. I think that was our most informative / disrespectful / I don't know. That was the most honest review I've given of anything ever in life.
You and me both, man.
Anytime I could ever relate something to hip hop. I'm one of those dudes, it's straight analogies with me. I need things that I know about to explain things that I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, that's what it is with comedy. I mean, we basically take an experience and we kind of like, we flip it and make it palatable.
Speaking of experiences, can we talk about the weekend? First of all, did you have anything that you've done recently that you want to?
Well, see, first I want to get into this beer news.
Okay.
And speaking of, mass beer and, the whole nine, Terrapin just got bought up by Anheuser-Busch, who just merged with, Miller and them gangs or whatever. So, like, Miller and Anheuser, it's basically like a huge, it's basically like a monopoly or whatever.
It's like when Verizon bought Yahoo.
Exactly. Verizon bought, when
who bought Yahoo?
When AT&T bought T-Mobile or some shit like that. I forget what the fuck happened. Some shit.
Like, how the fuck you gonna buy T-Mobile and T-Mobile don't change? Like, T-Mobile's still T-Mobile.
I don't even know how that whole shit went down.
You didn't even improve T-Mobile.
Because they ain't gonna improve. Miller's still gonna be the same bullshit. But, they bought it, bought out, I guess, more money for that. And they bought Terrapin, which used to be they're a great brewery. They used to be. Now they got bought up. Now you mass. They ain't crafted as mass. So it's like.
That's what's going. You better get into the craft shit now before it gets commercialized.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do about the whole shit thing. But just in case you were wondering, Terrapin is now, part of the whole mass thing, and you're not really supporting a family or, a small craft brewery. You're supporting, the big dudes that already got enough money. So
they're not Terrapin anymore. They're just a Clydesdale.
It's just a label.
See what I did there? I don't even know if that was the type of horse that was running, but I hate those fucking. Can I just talk about how I hate Budweiser commercials?
Really?
Because I don't want to see no fucking Clydesdale in a fire truck when I'm drinking beer. I don't want anything heroic to happen while I'm drinking beer. I'm drinking, fam. Like, I don't need nobody to be saved. Clydesdales, are they even American horses? Like,
I don't even know, man. And apparently Budweiser was a old recipe because there's a Budweiser out in Germany, right? If you go over there, and it's Budweiser. And the
most
story,
American thing.
Yeah, the story is that they came over, they stole the recipe, and they didn't even change the name. They just it was like, it's ours now.
That sounds like America right there.
That's as American as you can get. Manifest destiny.
Shout out to America for always being true to who you are.
So shout out to Anheuser-Busch and Miller and Terrapin. They all part of the fuck you gang.
I think 83 is where we get sanctioned.
True.
We're going to get a Frank Underwood sending us a letter. A cease and desist. So Church Brew Books, man. Listen, if you're trying to get into it, check it out. And I guess avoid Terrapin now.
Avoid Terrapin and all things mass, man. That's not where we're going with this podcast.
Support your local cat.
Truth.
So
what you get into this weekend, man?
Well, first of all, I got to shout out John Witherspoon. I think it was like last weekend. So we hadn't recorded, but I did get to open for John Witherspoon, which is really dope. It's really dope.
It's an OG in the game, man.
It's super OG, man. You talking about writing for Pryor, you know what I mean? And working with him, Robin Williams, Paul Mooney back in the day. And it's really dope to get to this level where these guys that you saw, that you watched growing up, because, I'm a Wayans Brother fanatic. Like, me and my cousin, we used to sit up at 2, 3 in the morning watching Wayans Brother reruns and just talking to chicks on the phone. So essentially, John Witherspoon got me like 2/3 of my first pussies. Like, Sugar Pop was always on the phone when I was on the chat line. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all had chat lines out in Pittsburgh, but you would just call a random 800 number and talk to chicks from the other side of town. It was like the Tinder before Tinder.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't swipe, but what they could do was send you to a private room, like you pound 6'3" or something. You end up in a private room with her, and then that's when you and your boys try to set up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the meetup.
You got a friend, and that's when gaming a chick online or from a distance, you had to have real game because you had to figure out how she looked based on how she sounded.
Yeah.
And you had to know who was the ugliest one because that was going to be, that's where the youngest dude had to deal with that, or wingman that. Or,
you had that's what I say. You had no pictures or nothing, man. You was just blind like a motherfucker.
You just in the mall like, you know how you go to the airport and the dude standing with a sign? You just meet up at the mall with a sign, like Ed Bailey, and the chicks come over. And like you could tell the chicks who you were meeting from the chat line, you tell how they were walking towards you, and then you got to rate them real quick but not change your facial expression because you can't turn them off.
You had to try to meet them like in a lobby somewhere that you could probably get a quick like scan to see if there's eyeing. And
it was
if
like
a
movie, man. It was like a Bourne movie. Like you'd be watching them from a balcony. Like, seeing how
we've been made. Just skate out like you up there from the sniper roof, like.
So yeah, man. I mean, that's throwback. Just watching him and then watching him with the Fridays and listening to him
man,
on
you
Boondocks.
Coordinate, man. Back with the Eddie movie.
With him
Boomerang.
and David Allen Greer. Boomerang.
You got the coordinate.
With the mushrooms.
Yeah, with the man, that shit had me
seeing all that, and then having him call me into a room to talk to me about, what we gonna do on the show tonight, and just feeling like his peer, man. That's dope, and that's what we're in it for, man. Like you just need those little. I don't look for a lot of recognition, but every now and again, if you can just get a reminder that you're doing well, that's really dope.
That's definitely a milestone.
Shout out to him.
Doing something right.
Cool
man.
Dude, man, down to earth. Talked to me before the weekend started. Kind of sticks to himself throughout the weekend, and then after the weekend is over, he'll talk to you, chill, take pictures, and he gives everything on stage. So it was really, really a good experience to watch him and see how you continue to stay relevant. For all those years, you're talking about 5-6 decades of relevance with him, and just he's always like he gives you exactly what you want, man. You go there, you want to see a good show. He's giving you energy. He's giving you great perspective. Great jokes, punchlines, tags. So shout out to John Witherspoon, man. Nice. One of my most fun and fulfilling weekends down at the Improv. But it hasn't been all good since the last episode. I gotta get into some talk about barbershops real quick. And we have a diverse listenership here. Mm-hmm. So I just want to first explain the black barbershop experience is a little different than a Supercuts, Best Cuts experience. Yeah,
there's a lot of politics involved.
There's a lot of understanding of your role and everything like that. And the haircuts,
hierarchy.
There's a hierarchy.
Yeah.
There's a real established relationship between you and your barber. And I actually had to deal with an interesting situation this past weekend. I dealt with a pushback. A pushback is where they push your hairline back.
Oh my God, man!
And it's tragic, man. A pushback is like it's like finding out your girlfriend got fake breasts. You know what I mean? It's you've invested so much into this person, and you thought everything was authentic, and it's like, damn, you let me down, and it resonates for weeks.
Yeah,
see, back when I was 17, 12, all them, you get a pushback, you start getting the baby hairs real quick and come back.
You come back to it.
I don't know if I'm a recover, man. I'm 30.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that pushback might be where your shit is forever.
He might have altered me, man.
Yeah, that might have been.
He done altered me.
That's how I went, bald. I had too many pushbacks.
Too many fucking
like, you
pushbacks.
Know what? This is it.
I might have to be on the come on home team. There's going to be 2 bald hosts on this fucking. One bad lineup, one bad shape up could change your life.
That is, I feel for you, man, because, I envy your hairline, man.
The worst thing about a pushback is everybody keeps saying it's not that bad.
Yeah,
and all you can do is fucking look in the mirror and be like, I knew where it used to be.
Because you don't know. You feel it and you're like, is this?
That's what. And then what's crazy.
You're in there and you're feeling like, I don't know if it. And then you look in the mirror and you know at that, like, oh.
And your barber knows too, because they try to turn the lights down before they give you the mirror at the end of the cut. Yeah. He got to run to the bathroom when he wants you to check out your. Listen, man, I just don't. I don't know if this happened. We'll ask our guest because he's of the Caucasian persuasion. But I just want to know. Do you be in the chair and you're not? Do you feel it when you had the best cuts? Like, do you feel it when they're cutting you with shears? Because you can feel something wrong. But you can't do nothing about
weird.
it.
I mean, I feel like, most white dudes don't get it like to the head. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like some clips or whatever. So I don't think that we'll ask her. I guess once we get in there or whatever. But
something felt wrong.
Yeah, no, you could feel it.
It was like I'm trying to think of something where you were doing it and it just felt absolutely.
I knew. I went down to a barber shop. You know what I mean, just recently because I've been cutting my own hair. I've been my own barber for the last 3-4 years or whatever. You know what I mean, but like I had my beard like big and thick, and I was like, I want to get it like faded. I wanted to get one of them. Them shits that you see on like IG, the sharp ass.
I hate these fucking IG barbers.
Yeah,
man.
like I'm like, all right, let me go down. Let me get like a real, get my shit faded up or whatever. I go down there and I'm like, yeah, just fade him up. Like I want him to come down. This motherfucker puts a 2-guard, goes up and down on the side, and puts a 3-guard at the bottom. Was like, yeah, there you. No fade, no gradient, no. Just I'm like, and I'm like, I'm in the chair, and I'm like. You ain't gonna throw the comb on that bitch, the scissors.
Yeah, you ain't
gonna thread me.
You gotta go to work, man. Listen, if you're a barber, you're an artist.
Yeah,
you're an artist, man. You have so much to do with a man's week. You don't even understand your power, fam.
Especially as a performer, man.
As a performer, I gotta go out in front of people with my shit pushed back on one side. I look like I got the back symbol on one side of my head. I was just getting my waves back. I used to have a fro. I had the natural fro. I cut it down to get the waves, and then boom, I'm pushed back. Yeah. I might be looking like Stephen A. Smith in a minute, man. It's gonna be all forehead on me, man.
Oh man,
that was my weekend. You talk about the ups and downs of comedy, man. You have a great fucking weekend with John Witherspoon, and then at the end of it, you got the same hairline that is this motherfucker.
Head in the right direction, I guess.
I see what you did. Bring our guest there, Day.
Well, before we bring our guest, I just want to shout out that we got a show at Compton Theater, Cranberry, August 13th. Now you can get tickets for that at ComptonTheater.ticketleap.com. Now we've got Otter Creek. They're coming down with some free craft brews. They're going to get you nice and swifty. It's BYOB, so you can bring your own brew and get even more swifty, some wine or whatever. Bring a bottle, whatever your flavor is. And we've got music. We've got Rob and we've got John and Nate from Trip Shot coming in. They're going to regale you with a little bit of music. We got
regale you a little bit. This dude's getting better. That's 83 episodes of vocabulary right there.
We got Derek Minto, Holly Price, and headliner, we got Jeff Conkle, who's a
funny motherfucker.
He's a national headliner. He's also a regular down at the Improv, and he's going to come through and do the damn thing. So I mean, and all that, $15, B.
I just did first of all, $15. You ain't gonna get a better value in anything else.
One of the most
box
beautiful
of condoms might cost you more than $15.
Yeah,
but I just did a show with Conkle at the Improv a couple of days ago, and when I tell you that man destroyed. That's one of the funniest fucking dudes I've seen, man.
Yeah.
Live, one of the funniest, and he's so unassuming when you look at him.
Yeah.
And it blows your mind, man.
Yeah, he's crisp. His stage presence is ridiculous. He's polished. I mean, it's a pleasure to watch. You know what I mean? So you guys are in for a treat. Again, that's ComptonTheater.ticketleap.com. Get your tickets early because the last show sold out, and we're looking at this one to sell out as well. So,
I mean, people they talking about it out in Cranberry now. I had a dude run up on me at the Improv at the Witherspoon show and was like, "Yeah, you the guy that y'all throwing the shows out there." He's got a barbershop. Shout out to Andy's Barbershop too, right up the road on 19 by Contra Theater. Check him out. But yeah, man. So if you want to get in there, get your tickets, man. It's 2 weeks. Well, actually, when this comes out, it's the week of.
It'll be the week of, so you got a few
hear
days,
this,
man.
and you need to log on immediately.
Get it early.
You can log on as you listen. You need to get them quick.
Word up. So we're going to introduce our guest coming up. Finally, this has been a long one. Are we 18 minutes in this? What's up?
We pushed back our guest like my hairline got pushed back. I'm fucking tight.
He dealing with the pushback. We're gonna bring in our guest for the show. This is usually your thing. I mean, I don't even know how to do that, but let's bring in BC Times entertainment writer Scott Tady.
Thanks for breaking out the Pilsner for me, guys.
Yeah, man, we brought out the big guns. You gotta say what up to the people. It's a staple here.
Oh, what up, people?
Okay, like that. A lot of energy. A lot of energy. It was like very energetic, but white. Very white, like he established.
That's what you expect from a white dude with a Rolling Stones tee.
Keeping it real today. Yeah. You're talking about barbershops. Did you see Dave Bracey at the barbershop show the other day?
I did see. Yeah, shout out to you and your interview out there.
Yeah, thank you, man. So, shout out to Barbershop Tady. It's a super cool show. Like, it's a like a 10-minute interview or whatever, videoed in like various barbershops around Beaver County. Super cool guys running that. And yeah, I mean, if you get a chance, log on to Beaver. What's the website?
Timesonline.com.
There it is, timesonline.com.
Now, is that the same? Is that Beaver County Times where they did that?
It's one of our new web series.
Okay.
And, I thought you did fabulous.
Thank you.
No, it was a very good interview.
Yeah.
Very good interview. So Beaver County, you guys, you all over the entertainment thing now, huh?
Oh, we cover Pittsburgh hard, yeah.
Okay.
Anything going on musically, theater, entertainment, comedy, you name it.
So how did you get involved with the Beaver County Times? Was it always from the entertainment perspective, or were you?
First 3 years was covering hard news, everything, police, courts, county commissioners, stuff like that. But I always loved entertainment. That's what I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Love going to shows, love interviewing rock stars, things like that. So that's what I've been aiming for.
That's a cool ass gig, man.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So is it like in The Wire? Because my only, I guess, insight to any type of publication of that sort is The Wire. Like, is there like politics to getting into a newspaper and then kind of moving up and being able to decide?
Yeah, we're probably not gritty, but yeah, it's.
I don't know what the fuck going on in Beaver County. Seemed like a county where somebody got some weight.
The Wire. You talking about like The Wire?
Season 2.
You talking about like the
Baltimore,
from
right?
Baltimore,
Yeah.
like that Wire?
Yeah,
I never
but
watched the show.
Season 2 was just strictly about the newspaper,
for real?
and I think the police department was just covering like the politics of that, and it's just like that and Spider-Man. There's the only time I've ever seen anything that has to do with the newspaper or anything. Well, I don't
Superman.
even know.
Clark Kent.
I never
Clark
fucked
Kent.
with Superman just because. This is gonna sound stupid because I say I watched Spider-Man, but it just wasn't realistic.
I can understand. You know what? Them glasses, it really does piss me off. I'm like, nigga, he good glasses though.
like you can shoot lasers out your eyes, but you ain't got 20/20 vision. Like, come on, Superman.
Oh, that shit pissed me off. You work in a news spot. Like they're like these are experts at like solving mysteries and shit. You fooling them with what the hell? Your shit must be dying.
Fam, your girl know you ain't human and she's still letting you hit raw. like, come on, man.
I don't know if he was hitting that raw. I think because there's this thing about how like he might have just crushed her pelvis, so I think he might have been getting topped off.
Oh,
yeah, but he wasn't.
Damn.
Yeah. You
learn something new every day. Superman, a proponent of.
He gotta let her know when he coming because that shit might blow her head off. That's
She fillaced Superman. That is ridiculous. You should write about that. No, don't write about that. I don't even know if you could use the word fillaced.
I haven't yet, but
so you get on, you're covering hard news, and like, how do you make that transition? Or were you always eyeing entertainment? Was it something that you were pushing? Was there even like an entertainment, I guess, kind of section that was?
Yeah, any chance I had to do a feature story, I tried to make an entertainment. We did like a story, a day in the life of, when it was called Starlight Amphitheater, kind of hung out there all day and described everything. So I was always looking for angles. If there were shows no one was covering, I'd volunteer to cover them. So just kind of kept aiming that way.
Where was the entertainment coverage prior to you getting on that side of it? Was it something that you kind of pushed, or because Beaver County, I guess, is a smaller, like, close-knit type of area. So, but it seems like you guys, I mean, with you now, and then like he's even doing the online series at the barbershop, you guys are kind of like trying to spearhead a movement where you're really covering entertainment. You really got the pulse of the city, the pulse of Pittsburgh kind of out there, putting it out there, which I would imagine was not necessarily the focus always.
Yeah, there was a mentality back in the 90s that people from Beaver County didn't go to Pittsburgh a lot, but we crushed through that. And there's never a show down here where I'm not running into 4 or 5 people I know. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's things going on in Beaver County, too. There's some good shows, some good festivals, but people come to Pittsburgh a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna talk shit. They might have an affinity for Beaver County. I ain't putting.
I have a love hate with Beaver. It's.
Well, we did. Now you covered because we did that. One of the first shows that.
Oh, Harmony Ridge.
Yeah, Harmony Ridge. Yeah, that was the first. That was the first time I was ever actually in the paper. Well, yeah, picture
you
in
made
the
us
paper.
feel famous.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna be in the paper. Like, send me a picture. It's gonna be crazy shit. Like, it's super dope. And I mean, like, I enjoy I like, following, from that, getting kind of into the media and like, reading the papers and whatnot and following how like, you do follow like local artists and bands or whatever. Because I've hit you up for like bands and be like, hey, like who are some of the, up and coming, bands or whatever to like book. And I think that it really is important to have that section there. So for, local artists that are looking to connect and do, bigger and better things, I mean, continue to read it. Because exposure is key. I mean, that's what we do here on the show. Right. Is try to expose, those who, don't have that. What are some of the favorite events you've covered over the years?
Oh, geez. I'm really liking all these festivals that are cropping up, like the Strip District Music Festival, Deutschtown Music Festival. Seems like
Shout out to Ziggy.
That's a growing thing, And I like it. That's where I saw you guys do the podcast, in fact, this past January.
Strip District.
Yeah. I got to watch some of that. I got to walk down the street, see a band like the Hawkeyes rocking out. I got to walk down the street, see a rap rock group or something, and all kinds of genres in one place. So I think Pittsburgh has a lot to be proud for those kind of things.
Yeah, how has it changed over the years? Like, because I know about 10 years ago, I couldn't find a goddamn thing to do in the city, and like now it just seems like every weekend there's something. Like, have you noticed like a change at all?
Definitely. It's gotten smaller, more club-oriented. There was a time everyone would go out to Star Lake to see, you wanted 20,000 people to show. Seems like the little places like the Club Cafe and the Rex and some of those are doing really well, and some of the places in Lawrenceville and Bloomfield. So I think it's gotten smaller, more intimate, but definitely very active.
I think that lends itself to more talent, and like having more talent, that'll happen. And when you're a burgeoning scene, that has to happen, because if you just have one or two places where you go for everything, then you're just you kind of get boxed out.
Yeah.
If you don't get your tickets first, or if it's not an event that you're necessarily interested in, then you're just fucked until they do something that you like. Yeah. Whereas now in the city, at any given point, you can go anywhere. There are pop-ups.
Yeah, the pop-ups.
Food, music, comedy is huge. It's actually very cool to be a part of and feel like you're a part of that. I mean, from my perspective, just feeling like, I add to, what makes Pittsburgh cool.
It's like the beer you're talking about, the micros versus the macros.
Yeah, I think you have to have a healthy dose of two, because you need those huge things like an improv or I'm trying to think of like a console. Those type of places gain notoriety for the city. Like, okay, they have these things. You need those large national acts to come here and do those shows, but you need the amateurs to build the anticipation for that type of thing. Like, you can go to a comedy show now and be like, oh, it's a lot of talent here. And now you're more interested in going to comedy shows. So then when Eddie Griffin or a huge guy, Kevin Hart, they're going to draw, but people are already like, it kind of works hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like, people who would just go to that now are looking for those things because they're readily available, and people who just go to us and then they start hearing about these national acts, like, oh, let me patronize that and see what's going on. So I again, for me in a city like this, I think it's huge. You got to have both things.
You get acclimated. You're going to go out every single weekend. What's going on this weekend? Well, there's this comedy festival. You know what I mean? You're not just waiting for
we hold you over until the big dogs come through. We like AAA.
No, I mean, I think that it's crazy because, like, you have like a lot of people that will support the bigger things and not the smaller things or whatever. And I tell people all the time, like, you'll get just as many laughs at our comedy shows you'll get at a Kevin Hart show. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, now, don't get me wrong, Kevin Hart is a master of his craft. I mean, and like, he's worked hard to get to where he's at or whatever. But you're paying $80, $90 for that, as opposed to
you're paying to say you were there.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Then afterward, I can hang out at the bar with you. I can talk
you
about what I just
talk
saw.
to us, like, and be like,
you
hey,
buy me shots.
and he's
so
like giving
many
you free
things for me.
booze.
Yeah, like, you do so many things for me. Like, not you specifically. I don't want much from you, but
so
I gotta pause that. I think that.
So what's your life like covering the events? Because I know as an artist, like, we're like I got a day job, and then I got the the comedy and the podcast, whatever. I don't ever sleep, and I'm always working like odd hours and shit. And like most people around my age are settled down, and like so I only really get to see my friends once in a blue as a result. Like, so like what is your life like as an because you're in a completely different world than most people.
Yeah, the only catch is having the review done to have it online 9 a.m. the next morning. So I'll be out of the show. I get home after midnight, and I got to get up at either 7 and write, or I write it as soon as I get home. And I find it's easier just to get up early, have a little bit of a fresher mind. But yeah, then I'm kind of slammed the rest of the day because I got other assignments. I'm doing preview stories. I'm telling people about shows that are coming up. I'm writing about local artists or whatever. So I don't get a lot of sleep sometimes. But
it has to be really dope to that your means of income comes from the things that you love to do. Like that's what we're aspiring to do. We still have our day jobs, and I think for the most part, we sustain ourselves with those jobs so they feel necessary, but we want to immerse ourselves in the comedy, in the entertainment. You get to combine the two. You get to make your living and kind of forge your personal passion with that. So that has to feel really good.
It is very important. I do like that. I was singing that line in that Cypress Hill song, though. It's a fun job, but it's still a job. And there are times when it is a job. But, I did want to do something that appealed to what I do when I wasn't working. To me, I always go to shows. So, yeah, it's a good way to make a living.
So how do you come across your whatever acts, whatever venue, whatever events that you're going to cover? Like, how do you choose? What's your pipeline like?
That's a tough one. We had an incident. We had a case. There were 4 great shows in the same night. You had John Mayer, the Grateful Dead. You had Culture Club doing their first Pittsburgh show since like the 1999 or something like that. You had Ryan Adams, and then there was Justin Bieber. I went to see Bieber. I thought I had to. I thought he's the biggest thing in pop. Not a fan. And it was a terrible show. And all my friends were like, "You didn't go see John Mayer and the Grateful Dead." And I've been kicking myself for 2 weeks since. But I thought I was doing the right thing, work-wise.
Yeah, I would have chosen Grateful Dead out of all that. I mean, John Mayer, I can't fucking stand John Mayer, man. His voice, it just.
I'm going to keep it real. I don't listen to none of those people. I'd have called in sick. Yeah. Actually, let me keep it real. I'd have looked at who had the most tattoos, and I'd probably went there. And I'm probably going to Bieber, too.
He got it on his face.
Yeah, I think Bieber probably would have attracted the most hittables. And by
hittables,
but they were there with their daughters, Some
daughters. Now you got to filter out the teeny boppers.
That's the thing. There'd have been the most jailbait too.
Yeah, you got some 20-somethings, and I'm checking ID.
Yeah, you got
you know what I mean? Like,
got a scanner, like,
and you got a press pass too. You might as well have a press pass is like a rapper chain. Like when you go to, like, you just spent all this money on this platinum chain. I got this lantern and access. Like, bitches need me.
Yeah.
Like, that's dope.
I'd definitely pick Grateful Dead out of that, man. Like, and got some peyote out of that bitch. That'd have been.
So I saw them back in the day though when Jerry was still alive.
Yeah, they've been around so goddamn long.
Yeah,
man.
The mayor. Check out episode 50. The mayor talking about.
Yeah, he's a deadhead.
I listened to that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I liked your one with Fetterman too. That was.
Thank you.
Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, shout out to Fetterman. Shout out to guests that actually listen to our podcast before they come on, man.
We ain't gonna slight nobody, but
I ain't saying no names.
Do your research.
But I'd have definitely.
So you guys don't have. So is there like an entire entertainment staff, or do you just? Is it primarily you? Like you would think, because I guess you would be torn. Like somebody has to cover the Bieber thing. It's the largest show.
He's big. People want to know what's going on. Maybe they don't care about him, but they want to know if he does something crazy or something.
You got like an apprentice or something that you could have sent to the Bieber show. Like, yo, go handle that.
I do have a colleague, Megan Miller, and we do a podcast together actually called The Buzz, where we do all things entertainment. So sometimes we'll split it up, and she got more of the pop punk kind of angle, or some of the younger bands. So it's a good mix actually.
So let's talk about The Buzz. Who's the name of your guest? I mean, your guest host, or your
Megan Miller,
co-host rather,
works with me. Yeah, it's on every Monday, and we tackle everything entertainment wise. We'll talk movies, we'll talk TV, we'll talk a lot of concerts, of course. But if there's a big art exhibit or something going on, we just try to give you ideas of what's coming up in Pittsburgh and Beaver County area.
So how did that come about?
That's a good question about podcasts. They got hot again. I've been wanting to ask you guys about that because there was a time they weren't. You know what I mean? What did we spark that? What did we kindle that? Because we figure it's a good market, and the numbers are really starting to pick up, and I'm not sure why, but what are your thoughts?
It's the thing. It just replaced the radio. Like, for me, personally, it's a way to consistently have content out there that's not the content that you're going to see on stage.
Yeah.
Because as a comedian, you got to have something out there, but you don't want to have your set out there because, especially as an amateur, there's no incentive to come to my show if you can just get my set on. Like a Kevin Hart, you're paying to be there.
Yeah.
You're paying to be in his presence. Where for me, you're paying for my jokes and to laugh. So I got to have something out there, and it's fun. I like that.
In a world where attention spans are so short, but people are digging the podcast where you're spending your 20 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes, whatever, just listening to a couple of people. I think that's a throwback element there. People are liking that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think it is like a pushback to, the Twitters and like the ADD culture or whatever, because, I'm on Twitter a lot, 140 characters or whatever. And like, I used to try to do like blogs, like long format or whatever. And people don't want that. They just want easily digestible. And what I was doing to kind of like keep people interested was basically like I would have to have some sort of like joke or punchline every other sentence, like in this, 5, 6, paragraph, whatever, just to keep them entertained. I think that with podcasting, it is like, especially like, talk radio and like, saying, all that. I think that it's great that, it is on the internet, so you can say fucking shit, and that's it's not regular by the FCC. It's controlled by the creators. I mean, we get to do what we want, and we get to make it what we wanted to make. We don't have like overseers going, oh, we got to fit into this demographic, and you know what I mean. Like, so I think like that allows a lot of and same thing with all social media. It allows the creators and the artists to actually own and create and like the means of production, which is super dope.
You guys were the only geniuses to come up with the idea of drinking beer while you do it, though.
Well, here, I think that's happened, nationally. I'm sure there are other ones. But here, and I think for Day and I, we've told this story several times, it was really just a thing where we got to do what we do, and we got to record it and kind of give people a chance to see us, just in our natural element. We're on stage. I try to be as natural as possible on stage, but you're still on stage. So when I step in front of you, the idea is to make you laugh. If we have a podcast that's super serious, then we just happen to have a podcast that's super serious. It's a part of who we are. You know what I mean? So it's a chance to give people a glimpse of who we are, and it's a chance to get people to give us beer while we do it.
Genius.
And I mean, comedy and beer go hand in hand. I mean, to be honest, like a lot of what we do is give you an excuse to drink. I mean, if you come to a comedy show, I mean, like there's usually most of our comedy is done in bars and beer. Like, and when we got together, like we started, most of the open mics are in bars. That's the reason for them sell alcohol. Our conversations were at bars around beer. So it was like if you're gonna take what made us popular, you got to have some kind of alcohol around. I mean, you don't have to.
You don't have to be drunk to listen to me, but I'm much better drunk.
Exactly. Our shows
stomach it a little better.
We give you free beer and it's BYOB. There's a reason for that. It makes our jobs that much easier.
Now, for you with the buzz, was there a point where with the entertainment on the Beaver County Times, do you feel like you kind of want to have something that's not restricted, or because you have an outlet, I feel, with the Beaver County Times, but to have that additional outlet, what kind of
and then they even took it a step
you in that direction?
Took it a step further. We're actually filming it now, and we're streaming it. Which,
okay.
Like they do on ESPN or whatever like that. And I'm still kind of gauge out if people are going to watch for 25 minutes, 2 people. We're using one single camera. We're going to 2, hopefully pretty soon. But yeah, it is a chance to engage a new audience, basically.
Okay.
Because we're on, like you guys, on iTunes and Stitcher Radio, things like that. So people who maybe don't read the paper anymore,
right,
are checking us out that way, and they're still getting their feel for what's going on entertainment-wise. How is the newspaper industry like evolving? Video, big time. We are taught to take video. You're out there in the field covering anything, whether it's hard news, entertainment. Shoot some iMovie film of it, edit it, get it on there. That's really where it's catching. We have a lot of shows. We mentioned that barbershop show that you were on, of course, and all our high school sports. We shoot high school sports like crazy, and the numbers are really good.
That's got to be good out in this like Midwest.
Big time.
You do the Friday Night Lights thing.
Exactly. Yeah, we do previews for like before the football season, before the basketball season, so everyone's into that. And so we're still the hardcore audience is getting the print paper delivered to them, but we're really taking it to a higher level on video, and that seems to be really working.
Do y'all still hire people to drive like vans and throw newspapers on people's porches?
We outsource that to a place in Newcastle.
Let me tell you something.
People are still doing that.
I fucking did that for a little while.
Yeah.
And that shit
you have a bike?
No,
I had a car.
It was weird. Like a friend of mine, I guess his mom had got it or some shit, and she like employed us and gave us a $2, and it was like when you young, you gonna get paid a $2 to ride around and do some shit. It was kind of fun. Plus, there was this chick I was trying to get who was doing it. So there's always an ulterior motive.
Christmas time, the tips you would get, I bet, are pretty good.
But have you ever seen someone deliver newspapers? They seem so angry.
I actually was the other day. I was going down a country road, and some dude was delivering it in his car. He just like would ride up and then just throw it out because
So we had a van. They had a van. It was just a bunch of newspapers in the back, and I guess you have the addresses of the people who subscribe, and you just fucking go and you know what I mean. And like every time you see these people, they look miserable, and the back of their cars always droop low as fuck. like damn, yo, you just, like that's how you know hard news. I guess is always terrible.
Yeah.
Like you know these newspapers are filled with terrible news because the fuckers just throwing your shit. Like damn it,
It's probably 5:30 in the morning or something too.
yeah, it's like mad early.
Yeah.
You know what? We weren't at 5:30 in the morning though, so I guess we was mad late. We was delivering papers at like noon and shit.
they done already turned on the news,
Oh,
found out
was
half
at
the
work?
shit. Like, you hear about that? Hell no. Wait till I get home.
They just came home with a newspaper to a newspaper. Like, damn it, man.
Yeah, no, it's crazy though because it is like you're seeing the shift to online and like video or whatever, but there's something about being printed in the paper still for me. I guess
still
because
matters.
I grew up in
Yeah, it
that
still
age.
matters.
Like when I like I said, when you wrote the article, like I was like, oh shit, like I still have that paper. Like my pictures, like I cut. I was like, yo, I'm in the like I'm printed. And like city paper, we were in city paper or whatever, and they had like the online. We had an online picture, but like the online is like, oh, that's cool. I can take a screenshot of it. But like I actually have like a
stack of you done passed them out to the fam.
Yeah,
like,
I get it.
Let you know what I'm doing. I didn't know if you knew what I was doing, but I'm gonna leave this here. Check me out. I'm on page C7, you know what I mean? it's just a little something.
Laminated and
And it was crazy because like I actually like I try to keep my my comedy and my day job separate or whatever. And like sometimes when I am into the paper, like they'll get the paper and they'll be like, hey, I heard you. I'm like, that wasn't me, bro.
Oh well, don't even try to. We done told the story, but this motherfucker that brought. Listen to episode 82. We talk about it. This dude brings my boss to the after show to the after show chill. He done brought my damn manager to the after show chill. Like he talking, but you always talking about how he want to keep his shit separate. He brings my manager to the after show chill.
She was already exposed.
I was compromised.
It was it.
I was all.
That was
My
it.
position was compromised.
Yeah, I had one of my coworkers come to. They came to the show down at Bricolage, and like I was like a deer in headlights. Like, where the fuck you find that?
Hey man, it's like it gets to a point, and that's why I say it's really cool in your position because you don't have that divide. So it gets to a point where honestly, you can't hide it. Like I was at work the other day, and some lady was talking to another person I work with, and she asked the young lady, she's like, isn't he a famous comedian? No, I'm not a fucking famous comedian. Yeah, I mean, but like, I guess she had seen or heard about, she had seen or heard about me, and she asked someone at my job that, and like, I almost wanted to throw my shoe at her, like, bitch, shut up. Like, keep it on the low. Like, why would you ask somebody else? You could have just walked to my desk and be like, yo, do you do? Nah. So you can't hide the two. And it's not that I want to hide it, but again,
yeah, people recognize me because my picture's in the paper every Sunday, and they come up to me during shows, and that is kind of weird sometimes.
And it's understood that your opinion is what you're writing. Like, it's understood. Yeah. So my opinions have to be reflective of where I work to a certain degree, or they have to, they want to separate themselves from shit that may be deemed controversial. So that's why you got to kind of keep it separate in our position. But it's cool to just be out there with your shit. Like, all right, y'all paying me for this, so this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm saying.
So what's you write what is it, how did you phrase it, constructive criticism?
Yeah,
you give constructive what's that like? You ever get any like hate mail?
Not as much as you'd expect. It's surprising. I do get it, but it's usually the most trivial things. I reviewed a Jeff Beck show, and I didn't mention his drummer, and this lady just hounded me for days about that. She must be his girlfriend or something. Yeah. He's like one of the world's greatest guitarists, and she was bitching that I didn't mention the drummer. You don't even notice the drummer. So it's a weird, like, there'll be times I'll insult someone, and I'm expecting the lash back, and it never comes,
Wow.
What I've noticed in life is white women don't let shit go.
I can vouch.
They don't let nothing. They don't let shit go.
Hey, I know.
Like, if you want to see somebody on a real mission, a middle-aged white woman, nah, dog, she ain't letting that shit slide. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe you should have mentioned them, but it ain't a make or break thing. Like, goddamn, she done sent it to your manager. They get the manager quick. Yeah, they find who's the supervisor. And they let them know, like, I need you to talk to him about not mentioning names.
finally call him in the office. Well, why are you engaging with this lady? Quit emailing her back.
Somehow you have to engage them though. It's like
Yes.
you want to not.
Yeah.
But you gotta see where it's gonna go because it's like they make you want to win, but you can't win.
Yeah,
think
you're
that's
just
what
dragging
all
yourself
women do.
down, to be honest. But
All women,
you ain't gonna be
they-
talking to me like that. Like,
Right,
it's, just
like-
it's that knee jerk, like, like
Women have this uncanny ability to make you want to just like fuck you, bitch, and leave, but also make you want to be like, but my point is, before I go, I need you to understand what I'm trying to tell you.
And furthermore, that is the toughest. Like, and like that has been like my heart. Like what I do now, I'll just shut all the way the fuck down and just be like super cold because like once I start, that's just great because like when you do that, they keep hitting. They want the reaction. They ain't gonna stop until, and then you be like, nigga, what? And then they be like, I don't know why you so mad. Like,
Like you put up, bitch. It's like they had you on them little kitty leashes that the daycares have the little kids on. Like you want to get away, but you just keep getting to one point and just getting pulled right the fuck back. And they don't even try to pull you back. They just like, go ahead. Yeah, come on back. I know it. It's like you be about to leave your girl and then you realize like you ain't made dinner plans. You be like, fuck, I'm gonna eat on Tuesday. Like, I done got so used to eating here, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
so do you feel a fucked up haircut? Like, can you feel it?
I never had a pushback, but I'm more worried about the hair that's coming out my ears and my nose and the places my eyebrows are out of whack, you know, like some 70-year-old Italian guy or something like that. I never thought that was going to happen, and now it's kind of starting to
But see, that's not your barber's fault.
True.
So, see, you don't get shape ups though, so you won't have a push.
I get a little
You
color,
don't
though.
get
I
the
gotta-
push because you like the hairline. That's the thing. That's what I envy about white dudes. Like they can like they don't give up. Like their hairlines that they don't give up.
But they naturally recede.
Yeah, they don't get like.
But they're
they can have a
long.
fucked up because they had the V's and they got like the side slants or whatever. But it's cool, you know what I mean? Because it's like us, we gotta have a crisp ass.
Yeah, because what happens is
ruler.
what I've noticed with white people is when their shit recedes right at the line, it's still long.
Yeah.
Like when your shit recedes and you're a black dude, it'd be real thin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it recedes and then it lets you know that the recession is still happening.
Yeah,
Like,
and we
it
ain't got
over,
the
fam.
we ain't got the like comb. We can't comb it over.
ain't no
you know what I
comb
mean,
over.
there ain't no real.
Yeah, ain't
Unless
no-
who had a comb over? I want to say there was a black dude with a.
Yo, my mom's. He's not listening. I know he's not listening. And if he is, he doesn't know his code name. So look, it's funny as shit. My mom's friend is dating this guy, and I call him Sebastian. I don't know his real name, but I just call him Sebastian.
Yeah.
Black dude with a comb over. Funny as shit. And I think that's why I call
Is it
him
like
Sebastian.
super greasy?
It's like he might have some like legit Native American in his family. He got a good grade of hair, but
Yeah.
that's definitely a comb over. He got one of them like fucking parts on the side where the comb is the part like he just gets water and fucking goes to work and personally parts and lays his shit. Like, so shout out to Sebastian. You don't know who you are, but you are who you are.
Yo, my personal heroes are the motherfuckers that got the Uncle Phil ponytail that is bald on the top and it's long as shit on the
Yeah.
sides, and then they put that bitch in a ponytail and then keep it moving. You got to be a stone cold G to do some shit like, because that's a nigga that don't care.
Yeah.
That's a nigga that will.
He's not letting
especially if
go.
he got some gators on.
He's not letting go.
What do you feel about the man bun? You see a lot of that now.
I don't know what's going on with anything in mainstream society. I have no idea what the hell is
the
happening.
man bun.
Like
See, a lot of sensitive singer-songwriter types are kind of going that way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even like if it works. I feel like if you play on the guitar, you got a soft voice and a man bun. I mean, there's a market for that. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a market. Do you? You know what I mean?
listen, man, the world is going to one species. There's not going to be man and woman. There's not going to be black or white. There's just going to be one fucking species of thing that you can mate with another thing.
Yeah,
and that's what's
just
going to happen.
yeah.
Like that's what's happening here. Like fucking, we got rappers wearing dresses out of H&M's female section. We got former Olympic athletes turning into women and shit like that. We got dudes rocking man buns in one braid down the white dudes rocking a fucking French braid down the middle of their head.
Yeah.
You got Justin Bieber, which we can't figure out what the fuck he is. You got Bow Wow, who said he ain't black. He just totally said
like,
he
he got
wasn't.
Indian in his family.
Hey,
It's like,
come on. It ain't even that he say he wasn't black. He never offered an explanation as to what the fuck he was.
Here's the thing: is that like I don't understand how he remains relevant. Two, I was actually happy he ain't claimed to be black because we can stand to lose him. To be honest,
cool
he was next up on the racial draft because he was about to get.
Problem with Bow Whistle.
Shad Moss is a weird ass
man,
dude. He does he's just a weirdo.
First of all, he's got a nice hit list of females.
He does. He's a weirdo.
You got to respect a dude who's been famous since he was 12, 13. He stays on TV and shit like that. Like I don't have a problem with him.
Yeah.
Until he starts. My only issue with him was when he like tried to get hard and he like him and Soulja Boy was beefing and he made that that video where he was
wait.
You ain't seen Yo, you don't remember
Soulja Boy is
you don't remember Bow Wow?
That has to be the softest beef
we have
since
to
Romeo.
Son, after this episode, I'm going to. He did beef with Romeo too, which is weird as fuck. You got to watch the video. It's Bow Wow. It's Bow Wow in like an apartment with some random goons who are all teenagers, and he's just saying random shit. And like after everything he says, they do the Batman sound effect. It's like. He's like, yo, now we on your head. I'm about to release my own record. What? Yo, you gotta watch. We gotta remind Buzzy to put the link to the Bow Wow Soulja Boy beef.
Wow.
This video.
That's like
Shit's
Bubblicious
funny
versus
as hell.
Bubble Yum. That's the softest.
Hey yo,
that's the softest rap
that's the
beef.
only thing I didn't like about everything else about Bow Wow. I'm like, well, that's what he doing, and that's my bigger point too. And I want to ask you about this because you do review people. My issue with a lot of shit now is we're so plugged in to what people do all the time. We're so plugged in to, artists, musicians, celebrities. There's no mystery about them. So we know everything about them, and people like expect them to be what they want them to be. You know what I mean? Like people get angry at them for not being what you would expect of them. How do you stay objective reviewing individuals? I guess you do. Your opinion obviously is inserted into it, but do you write from a perspective of this is what I was looking forward to, or this is what I wanted, or okay, here's what it is, and I'm reviewing it based on exactly what it is? Because I think a lot of objectivity gets lost nowadays. We see people we see celebrities and all right, you're a black celebrity, you're supposed to be pro Black Lives Matter, you're supposed to be a revolutionist, or you're a rap artist, you're from New York, you're supposed to have that New York sound, or you're a rock band, and I don't know how the fuck you rate a rock band, but shit like that, and I don't think that's fair. So how do you go about reviewing these individuals?
That does make it a challenge. For instance, David Duchovny was doing a concert at Alder Bar last year. X-Files actor trying to be a singer. I got backstage ahead of time to meet him. You take that access, just a chance to see what he's like,
right? Something
you report. He turns out to be a nice guy. Now I got to go see a show, and he sang about as well as you would expect David Duchovny to sing.
Wow,
It wasn't very good. So in the review, I didn't really pull any punches, but I just kind of said, well, he gave it his best. He was trying, whatever. But I wonder would I have slammed him harder if I didn't get a chance to meet him.
Yeah.
But if there's a chance to meet him, you may get some news element that you don't know. I may be able to say.
And that's the crazy thing. So we're so plugged in, it feels like you've met these people, but you've never met them. You don't know these motherfuckers.
Yeah. You're doing a meet and greet for 35 seconds.
I guess I don't envy this part of your job because again, you go on Twitter, all you see. Basically, Twitter is everybody's own personal feed of reviews.
Yeah.
It's just them talking shit on people. This is this, this is that, and the third. You have to write to the masses in your voice, but you can't be too, or can you be very slanted? I guess. I think
journalism.
Yeah, I guess you can.
One of the biggest things is trying to eliminate a bias.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
some
I
of the
feel
largest journalists, the people who get big reviewing shit, they're very slanted. It's all, you know what I mean? Like you watch, most of my shit is sports, and maybe it's different with sports, but I watch The Herd, you watch First Take with Stephen Smith, and Skip Bayless. They're very slanted in their reviews of shit and how they view it.
I think it's because they have a market of people that trust their opinion that align with them, so then...
Well, how did they get that market?
Yeah, that's
by being that way.
Yeah. So what would you say your style of review?
Writing for a newspaper. Because it's got to be a little different.
There's been many times I've done a review where I'll say, well, I don't like the set list, or I don't like what they did this, but the crowd was going wild. The people were giving standing ovation, whatever. You're kind of reflecting, well, okay, maybe I wasn't having a good time. I criticized some of the things they did, but you can't deny the fact that 10,000 people were singing along to the words, whatever. So you're at least giving that side of it, but you're still giving your personality. And And I guess you're kind of trusting, or you're having people trust you that you go to a lot of shows, you've seen a lot of things, and you're going to give some kind of opinion. You have to at some point.
So how has being immersed in entertainment changed your views on entertainment? Because I know that being in comedy changes my view on comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, being on the other side of it, now that it is a job and that you are going to concert after concert. Like if I was exposed to as much music, arts, and entertainment as you do, then my opinion would probably change. So how have you changed since getting into it?
That's come out more in video, where there was times I would criticize like the TV news, or you'd see some of the local people doing TV reports, whatever, and I'd kind of have fun with some of the silly things they did. Now that I'm shooting video, I'm a little easier on them. I know how easy it is to screw something up and forget your lines or whatever. So I feel like I relate to them more on that, and it's just one of those things. But for me, a bigger issue is a night when I don't go to a show, and you're sitting at home. I've done 4 shows in a row. I'm just going to take this Saturday night, be cool, and do nothing. You get on Facebook, get on Twitter, and everyone's somewhere at a show. And you're like, damn, why didn't I? I start beating myself up. So one of the hardest things for me every week is to figure out what I'm going to cover, because I can't do 7 nights in a row.
Yeah.
But boy, I regret sometimes when I'm not at something and it seems like the whole world's there and everyone's blowing up what a great time it is. And I'm like, God damn.
So you still feel like that joy and the glee that watching the show? Because some people lose it. If you're constantly in it and you're in it,
become hardened to it. I think.
Yeah, numb.
It's got to be something special to bring that out of you.
Yeah, do you still have that same
usually there's times I type notes on my phone, but there'll be times I just put it in my back pocket, screw it, this show's too good. I'd rather forget something for my article next day.
Then you can write an article just based off the feeling.
Right.
And I think that's the best review, when someone can write just this is how I felt being there. I've read reviews of a lot of shit and a lot of people's performances, and I think the best one, even though I'm not a huge fan, but I think what's cool about a Beyonce is that the way people feel when they see her. I never get anything specific from the reviews of her shows, but you gotta respect someone who can make thousands of people feel that connected to shit that ain't got nothing to do with it.
That was a show I liked that show a lot, and I thought it was just gonna be all production.
It's like watching. It's got to be like watching royalty. Because here's the thing about royalty. I'm not in the Beehive. First of all, I've never bought a Beyonce nothing.
I don't know, man.
But I have been. I have
very buzzy.
I have been to the left it though. I've been to the left it, dog. I ain't even gonna front. And a lot of dudes listening, you've been to the left it too.
Yeah, I've been to the left it.
I had a chick. I had a chick one time. I was washing clothes at her crib when we broke up, but I wasn't there, right? So I called her, and I had left my phone. My phone had fell on her couch, and it was so funny because when I called her, she picked up, and I knew she was tight. And all I said was, I got to come get my stuff, right? She was like, yeah. So I had to go get my stuff, and my friend had to take me. So I'm getting to the left. I got to pick up all my laundry. I got laundry baskets, and I'm walking out, and this girl's just yelling at me, and I'm just like, yo, I just gotta get to this fucking car, man. Being to the left, it sucks, but it makes you appreciate Beyonce's perspective on that song.
You know what? Or whoever wrote it, but
Neil wrote that, which is weird. It was a dude.
Yeah.
So I think Neil likes dudes, but
no, he does. He came. I think he came out.
No, he didn't come out.
No, he didn't come out.
Oh, why
not? And Neo, come out, man. It's
hey,
cool.
Man,
it's legal in 50 states, man.
It's legal in 50 states.
Legal in 50 states.
It's never been illegal.
You can love Trumps or whatever. What's the saying? Love wins or whatever. You know what I mean?
But back to my original point is, again, being able to garner that response from people.
No, Beyonce is a great entertainer.
She's regal
she
to
is
a certain degree.
Amazing. I mean,
the emotional level of that show was awesome.
Yeah. I don't think Beyonce personally is better as far as singing and dancing than everybody.
Yeah.
I think whatever the fuck happened, and I don't even know where it took that turn.
Great team behind her, man. She has coordinators.
I don't know
designers.
wherever it happened. Where
Becky, right?
Yeah, Becky, white Becky.
Becky with the good hair?
Yeah, well, Which is so fucking weird about Beyonce. She's been publicly cheated on by her man so much. She's been publicly cheated on by her man with arguably the number 2, who was Rihanna. And people just let that go.
But see, here's the thing. What they say, somebody tweeted out earlier. They said that money doesn't buy love, but money will buy tolerance.
Ooh. Very true.
So I'm saying so, and I mean you can't. I mean you have to admit that Jay-Z has added to her career.
Yeah, I think they've been
they've built a hell of a power
benefited, and I think Well, what Jay-Z did for her was she got more relatable to hood chicks. Like, all right, she got ex-drug dealer,
there has to be some sort of schooling in the game that went down, just as much as she probably brought him connected to the younger audiences and whatnot.
Well, I think she got him in rooms that generally you can't get into because Jay-Z, I mean, he's a great rapper and all that, but
he's still a coke dealer.
He's still an admitted former drug dealer. Certain people won't, but whatever. But I would say. Yeah, I think that relationship made her more relatable. But again, her being this beacon of female empowerment, like
I was a little uncomfortable being at the show
when
you can feel the woman kind of power at that show.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine.
I was getting a little bit nervous there.
It's just like, all right, look,
at least you ain't a black dude. If you was a black dude, it might have been curtains for you unless you had some heels on.
Let me tell you something. Every Bay Day is a bad day for a black dude. Bay Day is when a Beyonce album drops. It's always negative.
Yeah. Oh, on Twitter Twitter is unbearable.
Never good.
The house is unbearable.
The house is fucked. Like they washing dishes to that shit. They washing your daughter up to that shit. You get in the car with them. They want to play the shit. The ringtone is that shit. Beyonce now she putting out videos for every song. You gotta watch that shit. Like, and you just sitting there like. And their last shit was pretty much talking about how Jay-Z cheated on her. And like I'm sitting at the crib like, all right, you way too invested in this. Like, don't bring their problems into our relationship. Like we Gucci. I'm here. I'm here, baby. I'm here. Yo, fellas, we need our Beyonce, man.
Yes.
Truth.
Where's our Beyonce?
Wasn't Jay-Z supposed to like drop a rebuttal or some shit? We need that.
Fuck out of here. I ain't listening to nothing Jay-Z since American Gangster. I ain't
True that, man. I thank you for because I was just say I actually liked American Gangster. A lot of people didn't get that
Jay-Z album.
Mine too, man. I thought it was well produced.
I thought his album.
Yeah, me too. After that,
great album.
After that, it was like, man, Watch the Throne was dope as shit.
Loudest show I ever saw, Jay-Z. Louder than Metallica, louder than AC/DC.
Were you at that Watch the Throne over in Console?
Yes.
That was one of the best concerts I've ever been in. It was all Jay-Z, Kanye.
Yeah.
Back to back to back. It was like Jay-Z, Kanye and Jay-Z. Jay-Z and Kanye. It was just for like 2.5 hours.
But the one he did before that, solo, it might have been Mellon Arena, actually. It was just crazy loud.
Yeah.
Well, he too has, somehow he's been able to insert himself into the psyche of a generation, and you got to respect people who can do that.
Yeah.
My thoughts on the Watch the Throne album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Otis. There's so many.
Otis.
So
was
many.
Decent. The sample was better than the rhymes, and the video was better. My impressions of Otis. The sample, the video, or then the actual rapping. Now, let me ask you this. How much replay value does Watch the Throne really have? Are you banging Watch the Throne? You're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You ain't banging no fucking Watch the Throne.
Yeah,
I ain't heard nobody
bruh.
listening to Watch the Throne. That shit wasn't that great to me.
That
shit was not that great to me.
The beat niggas in Paris.
That was dope.
Yeah, because I will.
But you got
play
two
that,
of the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
you're gonna have some good songs.
Yeah, it was the whole.
But it ain't that crazy.
There were only maybe, and honestly, I think the deluxe was terrible. Like I think the deluxe was worse than the other because they added some like weird shit, like 2 or 3 tracks that I wasn't feeling. But out of all them tracks, man, I'm banging like there's maybe 2 that I ain't listening to. The rest of them, it's a solid album. And especially in today's age when you got Lil Uzi dropping shit like Yachty and all them motherfuckers and Designer. You hear that Designer? When you get shit like that, you got to and a Watch the Throne. Come on, man. Come on.
I like.
You listen to Future, but you gonna critique.
But I would never say
Throne.
Future is a great album. I say Future is better for the feel. Future creates an atmosphere. So whereas Jay-Z and Kanye have inserted themselves into the psyche of a generation, Future represents a generation. He's not in the psyche, but Future has done well to speak to this drug-infused kind of chill, want to get, ready for a party type generation. And that's what he's good for. And I think he does that well. Watch the Throne for me. Listen, I think everything's overhyped on Twitter. No Twitter. If Watch the Throne comes out with no social media, it's an okay
I don't even think I was on social media. I mean, Watch the Throne was just a solid album.
Watch the Throne comes out with no social media. I don't think it's as big. Because what you get is you get people overhyping shit, man. Shit was overhyped.
Man, whatever, man. What's your favorite concert you've been to?
Ever. I got to break it down by decades.
Damn.
I got a vet in the game.
I got to admit I was around in the 80s, but the 80s was the band Yes, and in the 90s was Rolling Stones, wearing the shirt here. In the aughts, it was U2. And so far this decade, Paul McCartney, which really surprised me. But he was like 65 years old at the time.
Yeah, I mean, but he
did like 30-plus songs. It was amazing.
Yeah?
You don't get to be that great without, having great shit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wow. So we got Yes, Rolling Stones, U2, and Paul McCartney. Man.
U2,
so, I mean,
I've never heard of
if I see them come through town, I'm going to have to, catch one of them.
Yeah, Day is the guy that you got to tell Day. Ed Bailey's not changing. I ain't exploring no new genres. I ain't going to a U2 with Bono. I ain't trying that shit.
I've never turned down a concert. Like there's no genre. There's no like I went to I saw what was it? Go-Go Bordello or whatever down at Stage 8.
Yeah.
And like that's where like I broke my phone in a mosh pit. It's the first time I was in a mosh pit. And like the shit was just crazy. Like, and then the thing I found is that like, because I went to Sticks in Kansas. I got kicked out of fucking Heinz Field because I kept hopping over the wall and like running in without tickets, and they like kicked me out or whatever. Went down to saw Poison down at Star Lake Amphitheater or whatever. Drank a like. So I mean, like I've like, but like. Those are all concerts that like people were just like, I got tickets. I'm like, yeah, and like even if you don't listen to music, the vibe of being around people that do listen to that music,
I can agree with that.
Is just so like hype that like you can appreciate, an artist. Like I don't know if I would go to see now like I don't know if I would go to a Lil Uzi like concert. I don't know if I would go.
I wouldn't go to a Lil Uzi because I'm not dealing with all that.
Yeah, the kids.
I'm not dealing with that element for some shit I don't know.
Yeah,
like my next two shows are I got Wiz and Snoop coming up, and then Drake's coming up the week after that.
Yeah.
I don't know
Snoop,
if I can go.
Now see Snoop, that motherfucker.
I would go to a Snoop before a Drake concert.
Oh yeah, I go to. But last time I was at a Snoop concert, that motherfucker came out like 2.5 hours late.
Oh, was that an older bar?
It was at Stage AE, and this motherfucker, we was in there, and like, so we had joints running around or whatever, and and like he had some DJ at his opening act or whatever, and then it was just like after the opening act and the DJ or whatever, there was just nothing. So like half hour, like no music, no nothing. We're like, yo, what's going on? You know what I mean? So then like an hour passed, and we're like, yo, what the fuck? We're getting all rowdy and shit. Hour and a half passed. We're like, yo, fuck Snoop. 2 hours passed. We're like, fuck Snoop. And then like he pops up like, hey, what's good? And we're like, oh shit, it's Snoop. But he killed it. Yeah, true. As soon as
that's how he should start
dropped.
his shit. But I would say, see, my issue, the atmosphere I think is dope at concerts, but my thing is, and I think this is just with me, I feel stupid not knowing the words. I can't watch you having a good time. And I'm just like, I'm going to have a good time because you having a good time. No, I need to know some of these lyrics. I can only go to concerts where I know the lyrics to most of the songs.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. For me, it depends on like now with who's old boy that just came through, Currency. Like Currency doesn't have like he got that stoner music. He has too many songs. Like and like the vibe was like, and I fuck with Currency, but it got to the point where I was just like, I don't really know. You know what I mean, like. But it depends on like the energy. There's some bands and some music that's just super hype and people are like into it. Like I said, when I was Go-Go Bordello, I didn't know any of them, but like I was in a mosh pit getting tossed around and shit. I was like, this shit is talking. And if you're drunk,
I'm thinking too much at the concert. Like I can't just vibe out to the beat. What's he saying? What's he talking about? I don't want to align myself with some shit. Like he might be talking about using drugs. I don't want to answer that.
You listen to Future.
Yeah, well, you know what?
That's all
what I wanted to do was I actually, I'm going to drink lean at some point in my life. Like I got to try this. And I mean, popping perks and all that. I don't know about the motherfuckers pop pills all the time. Like, but most people say they're injured. He's just popping pills without injury. These aren't pills that are exclusively for drug uses. These are pills that people are popping.
Yeah.
But he's just not injured. So, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
I
also went to college.
I guess abuse.
Went to college and like motherfuckers was high on all types of pills and shit there. So I've been around it.
Yeah, no, I feel. I think it's cool.
Beats are dope, but Future's dope. Like you lying to yourself if you don't like Future. Future's fucking dope.
I think Future is a super dope ass like hook dude, like the new Nate Dogg. Yeah, I mean, like I can't listen to a whole album of just like Nate Dogg's album was fucking terrible, but he is the king of the hook, and I could see like that jam with him and Jay-Z, like him Future on a hook is dope.
What I will tell you,
can't take 3 verses from him.
What I will tell you, some Future releases, no, not lyrical at all. Some of the shit that nigga can rap, man. I heard
that if
he can rap.
Like, what is it, March Madness or some shit like that is the
I'm
one
not
that
saying
everybody.
That was one of his larger songs, but he can rap. When he gets into, he's like an emotional rapper, but it's masked by the drug usage. He's like a hooky Drake, but it's masked by the drug use.
What'd you think of the last Kendrick album?
Listen, man.
Oh man, I thought it was. I didn't think it had a lot of replay value because it's heavy.
That. I think
it was very well crafted. I thought the lyrics and like the throwback. I thought it was one of those. Wait. I'm thinking of To Pimp a Butterfly, the Untitled, like the Untitled dip was also. I thought.
Are you talking about the one where he just released that?
He just like the
James?
Untitled or whatever, like the
those.
I thought that the fact that you can release a bunch of B sides and it still be better than 90% of the shit that motherfuckers is putting on the A side, that is talent like a motherfucker, man.
Here's my thoughts on the Kendrick album. Kendrick can rap undeniably. I don't want to listen to Kendrick rap. Kendrick Lamar is the San Antonio Spurs of hip hop. An undeniable track record of success.
Robinson.
An undeniable track record of well executed, good coaching. I mean, he fucks with Dr. Dre, good beats, decent beat selection, good subject. Like, he has everything that you would ask for, except for that factor that makes me want to listen to Kendrick.
More artsy than listenable.
It's more, he's very artsy. He's very conscious, which I appreciate. Him and J. Cole, to me, are very similar in the fact that you cannot deny the talent. You cannot deny, what they're rapping about and that it's good. You can't deny that it's good. I give J. Cole the edge because Cole produces most of his own shit. I can't. Listen, man. Kendrick makes some really, really good songs, and he makes songs that I'm like, those are good. And that's it.
I feel.
I'm not banging Kendrick.
He's got a handful of bangers, and that's what I love about him is the fact that he can do.
Would never deny.
He can do some conscious, serious shit, and then he can actually have some like ignorant bangers that you just roll down the windows.
That makes me feel bad about
summertime,
myself. Like, I feel like less of a black man not being super Kendrick happy. Like, I'm like, damn, I'm supposed to be, but I cannot.
Well, at least you can
bang Kendrick in the whip, dog.
Yeah, at least you can like. You can recognize the skill. There's a lot of dudes.
I would never say Kendrick is whack at all.
Yeah.
I would say all of his success, the recognition he deserves. For me, I can't.
I'm the same way with A$AP Rock. Like, like he is
Rocky, A$AP Rocky.
No, not A$AP. A$AP Rock.
The AASE or something like that.
Rock or whatever. Like he's super lyrical. He has like the largest vocabulary, like on paper in hip hop or whatever. Yeah, and the beats, but like I just can't.
It's tough, man.
Get through a whole song. Like it's too dense. Yeah, it's too much. Like there's rewind value. Like but like if you got to rewind every bar, I can't. I grew up with with your cannabises and your like the motherfuckers that have those intricate lines and like the rewind value that's just too much. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, and I'm just very grateful that I don't have to review these. How is it? So yeah, have you had a situation where there is a largely, I guess, positively reviewed artist or positively viewed artist that you personally are like, Because Day and I, we've had this Kendrick conversation several times.
30 times.
Yeah, we've had it since like episode 40. And I'm not moving on my position, and he's not getting it. And it's like, I know, especially in this time, because what Kendrick represents in this particular time is huge, and I would never negate that. I know my opinion of him is widely unpopular. But my opinion of him, I'm just a guy. I'm a comedian. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the guy. I'm not the go-to guy for entertainment for my county. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
like to lead a people, into something.
Yeah, I don't have to pimp a butterfly.
To pimp a beaver out this bitch.
You know what I mean? So, have you had a situation where you've had a largely unpopular opinion and you had to write it
or whatever?
Well, that very specific example, I did my best albums of last year, and what I said about the Kendrick album, and what I said about the Chris Stapleton album from Country, both I see the art behind it. I see why people like it. What you're saying, neither one had that listenability that it didn't quite take me where I hoped they both would take me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't slam either one. They're both very, very good, but it wasn't enough for me on a personal level. And Stapleton's the same way with that.
So how often do you engage? Because I think for you, engagement, and I guess that would be more for the buzz side of what you do as opposed to the Beaver County Times. But I'm sure you can garner, and I know you said that your listenership is going to that engagement, that back and forth has to be huge for you.
Yeah, we end our segment with a love it or loathe it thing where we just go off on something every week, and so that's where I get a lot of that out. And the other day I did it about went to the Cheap Trick concert at Star Lake, and Mayor Peduto went on stage and was singing with him. And for some reason, that fired me up, and I just kind of went on a rant about that.
Yeah, no, I saw you tweeted out and Bill Peduto's on stage for some reason. Like,
I kind of thought, like, gee, how many parking tickets do we have in the city of
Is
Pittsburgh?
this motherfucker on his way out? Is Peduto almost done?
no, there's no term limits on mayors.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I thought he had his Obama thing.
Yeah,
Obama just like, oh, you want to come to the White House? Come chill. We cooking out. Obama just he's just letting anybody come through, man.
True.
That's the difference.
He's sending out mass texts.
If I was writing that, I probably would have, I don't know if I'd have written it, but you're just on a podcast, you start going, you get on a roll, you know what that's like. And I just kind of went off, and then afterwards, I was like, ooh. Yeah. Hope I'm not in trouble. Yeah.
So, what is your favorite beer?
Red Hook, ESB.
Red Hook.
Special beer from Seattle. Hard to find them out here.
Oh, Red Hook. It's like a tree-looking thing
with
or
the
whatever.
red and yellow. Yeah, real
yeah.
hard to find. I like Bell's Winter Whites in Christmas season from Michigan.
I do like that. That's Oberon's group, right?
That's real good. Yeah.
Bell's Winter White.
Well, Bell's makes Oberon.
Yeah,
right?
Bell's. Yeah. I haven't had the
Michigan.
Winter White.
Yeah, it only comes out in November.
You know what? I just want to pause and say good shit, man. He knew Bell's. I ain't even put it together.
I'm gonna keep it real. If you listen to, I think it was episode 4, we had a rapper Radon, a good friend of mine. He has a song called Oberon, and so we used to go to Mad Mex almost every day because Ray and I used to work together. We go almost every fucking day and drink Oberon in the summer.
Yeah,
and that was that was my craft brewing. Now that is a great introduction to craft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't even know it was craft. I was like, yo, this shit be getting me fucked up. It's got flavor. They put orange in this shit.
Yeah.
And it only comes out in the summer. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, no, that's like a Belgian. Like a bad Belgian white, I think.
Shout out to Radon. He actually has a new track on iTunes signing day. Really dope.
Shout out to Radon. So,
rapid fire?
Yeah, rapid fire.
No, rapid fire, we just hit you with a bunch of random ass questions.
And you edit out the bad ones, right?
No, we're looking for the bad ones. It'll be easy. I mean, listen, you put your opinions out all the time. All right. So I guess they already asked you best concert you went to. We'll start off easy. Favorite article that you've written?
I did one about greyhound adoptions, people adopting greyhounds, and for some reason a lot of people went out and got dogs because of that. And it wasn't entertainment-wise. This is way back before it was even entertainment, but I don't know.
Random. In prison, they let you raise greyhounds. Did you know that? Certain prisons?
I did not know
My
that.
cousin's in jail, and I went to visit her, and she was just, she's like, I got this dog. I was like, what? She's like raising a greyhound.
Huh.
Which I think is fucked up that they take people who are in prison to raise greyhounds that they're going to make run on a dog track.
That's what they're going to do with them?
Probably.
Wow.
You're not going to raise you're not going to let a prisoner raise a greyhound and then send it to some suburban family.
Wow.
I don't know if that's good or
I
bad.
bet they got it from the track, because usually that's what they do. Once they're done, their racing years are over, they
well, maybe
kind of
that
abandon
was.
them.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
just
Maybe they
gave it
just
them
took the motherfucker that lost instead of shooting it.
Yeah, it's about to say,
instead of Michael Vicking it, they just they sent it to the
biggest pet peeve.
People drive. People talking at concerts. People that get right in front of me, and I'm usually close to the stage anyway, but they start yakking to each other, and the music's loud, so they're yakking even louder. And why do you do it? It's okay if you want to talk, but go to the back of the bar.
Fuck up and get in the back.
Right.
Back. You're in the front for.
I didn't come to see you talking. Yeah.
What's the most fucked up you've been at a concert?
Before I was covering them. To go back to actually Grateful Dead. I went to see him in Legend Valley, Columbus, Ohio, and it was. I think it did a whole bottle of wine that time.
Are you an over or under with the toilet paper?
Over all the way.
Over.
There is an under? I didn't know that.
You can, yeah.
Wait, which way is over? Is it like
At
this?
the over, yeah, it goes.
Why does that matter? Is it easier to pull over?
I believe so.
Just aesthetically, I think it looks better.
Aesthetic is.
What I've
I think I'm
noticed?
more of an under because I like the under. It allows me to get that
Well,
torque,
it'll fall.
so I can just rip.
Under will fall though and let you find the piece. Over will
Yeah,
fuck
it'll
around
let-
and lay.
It is more
It'll
work over.
lay.
Yeah, come to think of it.
Yeah, yo, I found my girl be changing that shit.
But she'll
Like
switch
if I
it
put it on
around.
the wrong way,
Yeah.
I'll come back like that ain't hard.
Some people are very like, I like mine under because I feel like it's easier to rip with one hand. You know what I mean? Like,
How often do people offer you drugs at concerts?
Drugs, never. Alcohol, it happens.
Nobody ever offers you drugs. I
I didn't say never, but not often.
You said never. People offer me.
Never.
People offer me drugs all the fucking time. I did a fucking open mic in Lawrenceville at Ham Bones, and this old white lady gave me some weed muffins.
Before you went on? Or?
No, after.
truth, I won a contest out in Altoona and got a bag of weed and some motherfucking a t-shirt. Like,
What was second prize?
Are you married?
Yes.
Okay. Before you got married, did the press pass ever get you some Poonan?
Not the press pass.
Okay. Oh, he want to take credit.
Did a man
for
on
it.
the street once.
You
it
want to
worked
take
out
credit
me.
for it. It was the press pass. It wasn't just sparkling personality. Not at a loud ass concert. It was that full access. Yeah.
so what are you doing after entertainment writing?
Oh wow, good question. Yeah, I like radio. I know it's kind of the old podcast, but I do some stuff for WYEP. I wouldn't mind doing radio, maybe someday.
Nice.
Kind of like that. Getting to play music, talk a little.
You go to a show. What do you do after the show? Like if it's a work related.
Go home and usually write the first few paragraphs of my review the next day. Then just chill out and watch some junk TV or maybe crack open a beer at that point.
What are you watching on television?
By the time I get home, it's usually like Golden Girls or something like that. There's not.
Thank you.
TV. I just watched all 36 episodes of BoJack Horseman.
God damn.
Love that.
I gotta get into that. Is that
you'll
on
love
Netflix
it.
or something?
It is Netflix. Yeah, highly recommend.
Have you seen Mike Tyson Mysteries yet?
No.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I need to.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's like one of those shows that sucks but's good.
I like Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson, and he just plays himself
It's not-
so goddamn well.
he's not
His comedic timing is.
But he's not the problem. It's the ghost and everybody
Oh
else.
my god, man! Yeah.
So just listen. There are shows that suck that you like. Mike Tyson's Mysteries. Is one
I
of those.
think it's.
You can't say that that's
a
a good show. You
It's
just
a great
like
show.
that show.
I think it's hilarious.
the role he was born to play.
Yeah. So
Good show for Netflix is F is for Family, by the way.
F is for family.
Bill Burr.
Oh, I like
Word.
him. All right.
All right, so where can they find you?
TimesOnline.com. The podcast is called The Buzz, and then I have a weekly web series called Get Out This Weekend, also at TimesOnline.com, just giving tips what to do on the weekend.
All right, and what any events, anything you got coming up?
Yeah, I guess that, like I said, the Wiz Snoop Show is the next one for me. Another fun show. Nick Offerman and Megan Mullany, you know them from Parks and Recreation. They're married couple.
yeah.
They're doing a comedy show together.
Duke Davis or something, right? What's his name on the show when he does his little blues shit on?
Yes. He plays the saxophone.
Is it Duke Davis?
It is Duke. Yeah.
Maybe not Davis. So he does this.
They're real life husband and wife, and I guess it's a little bit of burlesque and it's a little bit of comedy. And
I would go to that.
Sounds like it's crazy.
Is
funny.
there a lot of cognac in the building?
Let's hope.
I hope so. I think he plays himself like on that show. Like I was watching something.
Ron Swanson, you mean, is the real?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
wow.
he's like very. I think he's very much like that, except for his laugh is like ridiculous. Because I've seen him on like some late night shit, and his laugh is super ridiculous. Parks and Recs is like a guilty pleasure.
Oh, yeah. Good
Doesn't
time.
look like anything I would watch, but that shit was funny.
And just before we go, what one event in Pittsburgh do you look forward to every year?
Ooh, good question.
Ooh, wow. I do like light up nights. I like when they have a concert on the bridge. It's kind of a cool chance to, see the city, hear some music, thousands of people hang out. It's always a chill environment. So
Yeah, Partner Spot Live.
what's that?
Partner Spot Live is a good one.
That too.
Yeah, I like to see those guys. I mean, they're hilarious. All right, and well,
They let them know where they can find us.
if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at Partners Pod. You can find us on Libsyn, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play under Drinking Partners.
Hey, we want to thank our guests, man. Thank you, Scott, for coming through. Make sure you check out him at the Beaver County Times online. And check out The Buzz. Where's The Buzz?
Stitcher Radio, iTunes. It's on our website.
Yeah, so go to Stitcher, go to iTunes, look us up, look The Buzz up, listen to us, man. We'll get fucked up listening to us, and then listen to him to find out where you should go that night.
Nice.
Like, is that a good? That's a good combination.
I like that. Yes.
Yeah. So you get fucked pregame with us, then he'll tell you where the game is, and then you go there, and then go back to him to get a review, see if it matches up with how you felt about the show.
And if you don't like his review, call in and tell him.
Yeah, tell him. Or call or write either of us online. Tell us, we'll tell him.
With the review.
With the review, yeah. Rate and review. And yeah, there you go. So we pretty much taking over your weekend. Again, I am half of your host, Santana Man Bailey. I'm here with Dave Bracey. We are the Drinking Partners. Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. We out here.